guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to this edition of Sharpe Shorts. Good to have you guys in today. It looks like all systems are go. Kind of changing strategies a little bit here. Trying to boost the channel a little bit. Give it not really a makeover, just to kind of, my channel stagnated a little bit here lately, and so trying out a new strategy to sort of kind of get us off the schneid a little bit. That's the reason for these frequent live streams. Real quick announcement before we get started. Temptation Island breakdown right after this. Temptation Island breakdown right after this. You can watch for free on the SharpeStream mobile app. Go to sharpestream.com to download the mobile app. The mobile app is doesn't matter if you are a if you're a member or not. You can download the SharpeStream mobile app and watch the show. Also, I was contacted by, oh boy, what was her name? I forgot her name already. The chick that I did the OnlyFans video on today. I forgot her name already. So she reached out to me via Instagram, and she wanted to, set a few things straight, saw some things in the comments section. And so I invited her onto the show. I said, listen, this conversation we're having should be had on the air. There were some misperceptions, I guess, about OnlyFans girls that she says she wants to get straight. So I said, hey, look, come on the show. So she's going to think about it. She says she's in. Oh, Amy Cups. That's her name. All right. There we go. Amy Cups. Yeah, I don't know. Like the more attractive the female, the quicker their name goes in one ear and out the other. I guess you can blame my Vegas experience for that. But yes, Amy Cups. She's thinking about coming on. She says she's an introvert. And I don't think she's ever done anything like this before, but I said, listen, I'd love for you to come on. I'd love to quiz you, ask you some questions, find out about what life is really like for an OnlyFans girl. So we'll see. I give her 24 hours to respond, we were going back and forth, and I said, all right, well, listen, don't take too long. I'll give you 24 hours to come to a decision. Let me know one way or the other. I told her it's not going to hurt my feelings if you decide not to come on. I'll just get somebody else. So we'll see how that goes. She seems pretty, I guess, decent. She seems decent, but we'll see. So stay tuned for that. At any rate, let's go ahead and get right to it here. So earlier this morning, The Sun published an article entitled, quote, "Sexpert says women should never get married because it overwhelmingly benefits men." So right off the bat, I could tell that the title was clearly clickbait, because no man, unplugged or otherwise, thinks that marriage overwhelmingly benefits men, right? Now, the woman who made this ridiculous statement is none other than Nadia Bokhari. She is the self-proclaimed sex expert who has before called herself the queen of TMI. So let me give you guys a little, and I've actually done videos on her before. I did a video, she went on, and she's from Australia. She did this morning show where she bragged about having cheated on her husband. And then, of course, you can see here, let's just go through a few of her Instagram posts. Yes, my favorite season is the fall of the patriarchy. Fall of the patriarchy. She has a blue check. I have no idea how that or why that is. But yeah, so you can tell she is definitely sex positive. Dump him. Let's see, what else is, yeah. I mean, she, endorses Astroglide. She wants to stop bleep shaming. Obviously, she is a connoisseur of toys. Oh, yeah, she recently came out as extremely happy. As you guys can see right here. She says she is, quote, happy AF. So yeah, listen, man, Nadia Bokaty is a card-carrying, she is a card-carrying feminist. Yeah, you guys can see, you guys can see what, I mean, listen, you guys see what time it is. Yeah, let it delete his number. You know, she seems to, I don't know, she seems to be over the top with all this happy stuff. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. There was one post, there was one picture I wanted to really, really show you guys that more or less explains like why she is the way she is. Give me a second here, guys. I swear I'll get to it. I should have had all this cleared up, queued up. But yeah, you know, good vibes, blah, blah, blah. And we'll get into all this a little bit later. Clearly, I believe that this is all an act. This is all a very, oh, yeah, there you go. There's the choice coffee cup. So she's embracing her lifestyle. Well, here's a really good one. So apparently she takes pride in the fact that she has hair under her arms. So Miss Bokaty, as feminine as they come. Here we go. So here we go. This is the face of BPD. I can't work, eat, sleep, or form thoughts. I crave self-harm to antithesis the pain. I'm focusing on getting through blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, Nadia Bokaty, she's got bipolar disorder. Clearly nothing to be ashamed of. My ex-wife had bipolar disorder. She made our life a living hell. But the fact that she is bipolar explains everything. Explains it all. She's up and down all the time. So yeah. So that's who we're dealing with. That's who we're dealing with here. And like I said, I've done videos on her before. She hit me with a copyright strike because I actually used her video in one of my videos. She copyright struck it because, of course, she knew I was right on target. I was speaking very unfavorably about her. So anyway, so a little further down, so they call her a sexpert. Then a little further down, it says she's a relationship expert, right? Number one, let's just go ahead and get one thing right. Number one, these women out here getting ran through, calling themselves sex experts, that's a freaking joke, man. Yes, anyone who has read Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell is acutely aware of the 10,000-hour rule, right? Met Taller Forever says BPD is borderline disorder. Well, BPD can mean borderline personality disorder, and it could also mean bipolar disorder. There's more than one definition to BPD. And given the fact that she does not say borderline personality disorder, she refers to it as, give me 1 second. Well, anyway, she has bipolar. I've heard her say this on camera before. So that's what she is. So again, guys, like, again, I just, listen, guys, come on, man. Like, I'm trying to help you out, opening the chat to people. It's really cut down on the trolling, but the last few times I've been on, there's always somebody in here who thinks they know more than I do, right? And maybe they do, but got to do your research, man. Yes, BPD is borderline personality disorder, but the first BPD was bipolar disorder BPD. Anyway. So yeah, Malcolm Gladwell did the whole 10,000 hour rule, right? And the 10,000 hour rule states that to master any skill requires at least 10,000 hours, right? There have been several studies, and you guys know that I'm not really about the studies, but there have been several studies that claim that the average person spends 117 days having sex in their lifetime. And because we know that the majority of those people are women, we can safely assume that this figure is probably fairly accurate, give or take a week or two in either direction. Well, 10,000 hours is roughly 416 days, which is well over a year. Again, this is having sex. One could probably safely assume that there are quite a few women out here who have been plowed for well over 10,000 hours. But here's the difference between a skill and an activity in terms of bedroom fun. As far as women are concerned, there's no real skill in getting fucked, ladies. There's no real skill in that. All any woman is required to do to achieve a favorable outcome in terms of bedroom action is to be present and willing, okay? Bringing a man to orgasm is standard, and it's almost too easy to achieve. Insert male organ into female opening, preferably moist, thrust, repeat. Not that hard, right? There is nothing impressive about a woman who can give men the big O every time. Now, in the same vein, it is equally unimpressive for a woman to rack up a double-digit body count within a calendar week. Any woman who brags about how many guys have smashed her is like a guy who brags about, I don't know, how many women turned him down, right? It's the same. In either case, it happens all the time. But now we have these women out here calling themselves, quote, experts at an activity that just about every man wants to do all the time, right? What was her name? Shan Bodie, which I purposely called Bodie to keep from saying booty on the air. She considers herself to be a sex expert simply because she's had a lot of sex with a lot of people, right? But how can you be an expert on an activity that every man wants to do all the time? Here's the deal. Here's the difference. Nobody wants to play the French horn, guys. Nobody wants to play the French freaking horn. This is why world-class French horn players are admired. Female sex experts aren't admired. All they had to be is there and willing. Now, this isn't to say that there aren't certain things that people master that aren't fun, exciting, or pleasurable, right? But there is no such thing as a woman who is a, quote, expert at sex. When 147% of women can bring 174% of men to orgasm simply by being there. And a lot of times they don't really have to even be there. There is no such thing as a female expert as far as sex is concerned, right? If that's the case, then every female is a sex expert. And if every female is a sex expert, then guess what? No female is a sex expert. It's like if everybody's rich, nobody's rich. It's all relative. Now, as far as a relationship, this relationship moniker that they gave her, it is clear that by simply scrolling through Miss Bokety's Instagram, she is clearly quite the opposite. Again, there's no such thing as a female relationship expert. Female relationship counselors are positively useless guys. They either blame everything on the husband or they try to overcompensate by blaming everything on the wife, right? Taking relationship advice from a woman is about as useful as taking fishing advice from a bicycle manufacturer. You guys see what I did there? Anyway, Nadia steers women away from marriage because she says it overwhelmingly favors men. Marriage is let's just scroll right all the way down here. Marriage, she says, is a sexist patriarchal construct that overwhelmingly benefits men and disadvantages women. Married men earn more and live longer as a result of the unpaid domestic labor women are expected to perform for them. So let me stop right there. Let me go and stop right there. Okay. This is the problem. This is the problem with the mindset these women have. Okay. Nadia calls it unpaid domestic labor. Right. As if to imply that wives get nothing in exchange for cooking, cleaning, taking care of a man's domicile and offspring. This, quote, unpaid domestic labor is the least a woman can do to show her appreciation for the man who protects her, provides her with a great life, and the coveted status of a woman who has been chosen. But I'll put it to you this way. Would you like to know why women like her do not value these commodities? Would you like to know why? Well, it's actually quite simple. It's because they get offered these things all of the time for simply existing. Men throw commitment at these 304s all the time. And all these women do is post a couple of booty pics or sleep with a guy for a week and a half. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, that most of today's women have to do to actually earn the time, affection, and resources of today's men. So why would we expect women to value everything a man's commitment has to offer her when they are required to do very little to actually earn it? Well, guys, this is a problem on both ends, okay? Men are giving away their commitment too freely and too easily, and women are giving away their bodies too freely and easily. What ends up happening is that this cheapens what either party brings to the table in terms of a sexual relationship of consequence. Men of value don't value sex because they can get it pretty much anytime they want. Women with high sexual market value don't value commitment because they've always got guys sliding into their DMs offering their hand in marriage. So the fact that women like Nadia like to characterize the traditional duties of a housewife as unpaid domestic labor states very clearly that modern women simply do not value a man's commitment and all that comes with it. Interestingly enough, she leads us to believe that because of all of this unpaid domestic labor, that married men have the ability to earn more. This chick has absolutely no idea what she's talking about. Having a housewife at home has positively no bearing on what a man can earn outside of the home. I will say this, though. Having a dutiful housewife who does what needs to be done allows a man to save money, right? But a woman performing the duties that she is supposed to be performing as a housewife has positively zero effect on a man's ability to earn more money. And if it's unpaid labor, Miss Bokity, then how does it help the man make more money? What this woman is doing is simply making statements and passing them off as truth. All she's doing is making outlandish statements, but she's not really citing any articles or studies. She says sources, the Longevity Project, University of California. There's no link there. What is that? Korenman and Newmarket, 1991. So 1991, it's 2021. 1991 was 30 years ago. So we're using sources from 30 years ago as evidence of this here in 2021. Yeah, make that make sense. And guys, again, I've never been one to put too much stock in studies or statistics, but at least give me something that indicates that you're not just talking out of your ass. Believe it or not, gentlemen, this isn't the first time I've discussed a baseless claim a woman makes trying to win a conversation. Way back in episode 703, I witnessed the most egregious bullshitting I think I've ever seen in my life. Check it out.
80%, or it might even be higher than that, 90% of black women 34 and above are married or have been married. Going off what you said about...
She said 80%, it might even be 90% of all black women 35 to 39 are married. Wait, what? Are you serious? Where's she getting those statistics from? No. 3 out of 4 black women are unmarried, right? She just pulled it. Listen, watch this. Just watch.
80%, or it might even be higher than that, 90% of black women 34 and above are married or have been married. Going off what you said about white women getting married at a younger age, 50 or 60%?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, what you said, she's literally just pulling this stuff out of the air. This is exactly what Nadia is doing, okay? She is making a statement and expecting us to believe it just because she said it. So we read a little further down. We read a little further down. It says, conversely, unmarried women live longer and earn more and report greater happiness levels. Wait a minute. Huh? Unmarried women report greater happiness levels? Are you kidding me with this? Like who are they reporting to, and what exactly are they reporting? Right? I mean, like, are these women calling some research? Yes, my name is Gloria. I'm 65 years old. I'm unmarried and I'm very happy. Women like this, Nadia Bokity, they are extraordinarily dangerous to young women. They're extraordinarily dangerous to young women. They really, Really are. Hang on a second. I'm trying to find something that is not, everything that is on her page is offensive, but I want to make sure. Oh my God. Hang on. Ooh. There we are. Okay, this looks clean-ish. Right? Women like this, they are extremely dangerous to young women. Nadia Bokhadi is clearly miserable. She's almost 40 years old, she's unmarried, and she doesn't have children. But she would have us believe that her life is just one awesome adventure after another. She is purposely misleading women into thinking that getting passed around until your assets shrivel up will lead to ultimate happiness. And it is quite literally the opposite, guys. It's the opposite. What Nadia is doing here is what Rollo likes to call making her necessity a virtue, right? Nadia Bokhadi, listen, let's just keep it real, man. Nadia Bokhadi is a used-up slut who's only good for sex, guys. That's all she is, man. She knows this. She knows that she is damaged so far beyond repair as a result of her life choices that there is no chance of any man of value committing to her outside of a one-night stand. So what she did is she created this persona. She created this brand to make everyone think that she loves her life, but she doesn't. How do I know? Because every other day, she's making a post or a video talking about how awesome her life is. And as we all know, according to the Book of Womanese, the more a woman tries to convince you of something, the more likely the opposite is true. Nadia wants us to think she's happy with her life. She wants us to think that she wants us to think that the life she lives is a choice. No, the life she lives is the only one she can live to experience any kind of joy, however rare and fleeting it may be. What we see on Instagram, guys, represents maybe 2% of her life. Maybe 2% of her life. Look at all this stuff. All this happiness and joy. This is all, listen, this is a very, very small portion of her life. Look at this. Of course, she's a proud feminist and this and that. All right, hey, cool. Listen, man, I ain't mad at you. Dude, that armpit hair, I don't get it. But this, gentlemen, on your screen is the other 98%. The other 98% of her life is crying uncontrollably in the shower, eating her way through a tub of ice cream while binge watching Sex and the City, wishing she really was Carrie Bradshaw, getting plowed by her flavor of the week, and choking down a handful full of prescription drugs to keep her from offing herself. Now, women like this can do whatever they want. I don't care. I really don't. Nadia is clearly miserable, and I could not care less. Couldn't care less. Listen, she can do whatever she wants to do. I ain't mad at you. But what really bothers me about her is that she is luring young women into emulating her lifestyle. Unmarried women report greater happiness levels. Is she serious with this? Where did you get that from? Where did you get that from? The most miserable demographic of American women. The cross-section, they're 42 years old, they earn over six figures, they are childless and unmarried. That tells you all you need to know about Nadia's lifestyle. She can do whatever she wants, man. She can continue to lie to the public about how happy she is. But we all know that she is rotting on the inside. Honestly, at this point, she probably has so much male DNA in her, she could probably grow a beard in about a week, right? Like that armpit hair, she couldn't grow that before. 10 years ago, she couldn't grow that. She can now. So it's one thing to broadcast the fact that your bad decisions are the reason why you're single and will be alone for the rest of your life. But it is quite another to flat out lie to young women and purposefully mislead them into thinking sleeping around indefinitely and never getting married and having children is a wonderful life. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Sleeping around for women, sleeping around for young women, it's a lot more exciting than being a housewife and starting a family young. True enough. But guess what? As exciting as that is, it has devastating physical, mental, and even spiritual consequences. Everything has a price, gentlemen, including sleeping around. Yes, you have a lot of great stories to tell, and you never have to worry or wonder about what you never got to experience. But on the back end, you end up paying the price. You end up paying the price. You are unmarriable, you are undateable, and at some point, you even become unfuckable. Women like Nadia get to a point to where even men who have no idea what's really going on out here in these streets, we like to call RP truth, even those guys will stay away. Because it's written all over her face. The avatar of the woman who sleeps around and ends up miserable is Nadia Bokhadi. She's the avatar, guys. The problem is she doesn't realize it yet. And unfortunately for her readers and fans, neither do they. But it all comes out. It all comes out in the wash. Oops. So that's going to do it for this edition of Sharpe Shorts. I am about to do my Temptation Island breakdown. This season of Temptation Island looks to be very, very good. Very much looking forward to that. So if you're watching on YouTube, MGTOW.tv, whatever the case may be sure to download the app. Download the app. I'll give you guys a few minutes to get over there. I'll read some of the chat. I'll read some of the comments here, some of the chat. All right, let's see here. Kresimir Petrov says there's a lot of overlap between borderline and bipolar. It's simply the time frame in which they switch. Okay. He said, I had a BPD girl destroy my life, so watch out, folks. Man, I'm going to tell you what. Shozan Hanma says, Shan Bodhi is kind of cute. Shan Bodhi is hot. Like, she's 36 years old and she just had a kid. That's a bad bitch. That's a bad bitch. Like, listen, man, I'm not going to, listen, just because I vehemently disagree with everything a woman stands for does not mean that I'm going to be disingenuous and say, oh, no, Shan Bodhi looks good. She looks good. Kresimir Petrov says, do you have to have the 1,000-block stare to be a sex expert? I guess so. Delphinity says, what about good and bad BJs? Yeah, when it comes to bedroom fun, there are things that do make a sexual experience favorable versus non-favorable, right? Obviously, the way a girl looks makes a big difference. Her willingness to have sex with you, it's not starfish sex. And, of course, fellatio, right? A girl who gives bad fellatio, okay, that's just bad fellatio. She can probably still make you go. So I will give you that. Listen, willingness, her looks and her body and BJs do make a difference. Do make a little bit of a difference. But after that, there's no real skill in getting fucked. Oh, she's great in bed. No, she's kind of like everybody else in bed. She either lays there or bends over. One of the two. One of the two. All right, guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and shrink the audience. Jonathan Smith says, I wish I knew how to sign up on Patreon. Patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. Jonathan, come on now. Come on, brother. All right, guys. So I am going to go ahead and shrink the audience. So I'm going to say goodbye to my YouTube, my Facebook, my Twitch audience,